We've got government calls for more airport slots. Government also plan a Muay Thai visa for foreigners. End the 2 to 5 p.m. ban, say restaurateurs. PM 2.5 expected to spike. And a Colombian arrested in Phuket for a bag snatch. But before we get into all these stories, I'm Kieran Mack and you are listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show, and delighted as always that you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we do get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when the next available podcast or live stream is on the platform. If you like listening to us on a podcast player and you want to listen to the show later, you can do so by looking down below in the description and find a lovely link that will take you to a vast array of podcast players. And finally, if you want to support the show, if you like the show, there's a couple of ways you can do it. First, you can just become a member of the channel, and you can do that for 100 baht per month, or you can go down to the link in the description and buy me a coffee. So now that that's all done and dusted, let's jump into those top stories doing the rounds, and we'll do a bit of a follow-up on a story that we brought you a couple of days ago, and it was in relation to the broccoli bill, or the marijuana bill that they were discussing here in Thailand. As many people will know, it was legalized last year or so, and legalized with no rules or regulations. The current Muay Thai-led government had campaigned on their platform, and their promise was to basically have it for medicinal purposes only. Last week, the Public Health Minister said that was going to happen. And now a little bit of an update. So the Public Health Minister, Chanan Sekou, said on Monday that the new draft bill will require consumers to have medical prescriptions or evidence that the person needs it for medical purposes in order to purchase and consume. He adds this will ensure it is for medical purposes only. So it does look like the free-for-all that has been going on here in Thailand is going to finally come to an end. I do feel sorry for businesses here who've invested a lot of money, but I mean, when you open a business and you know that no law was created to control it and control what was happening, then you do have to, you're kind of taking a risk in my opinion, but that is how it is at the moment. So we're going to jump into the first real story of the day, and the government is calling for more airport slots. The Transport Ministry has instructed the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand to increase the number of airport slots to prepare for an expected surge in foreign tours for the summer starting in April. Transport Minister Surya Jongkrongkit on Saturday said increasing the number of slots available would attract more flights to the country. The plan covers Suvarnabhumi Airport, Don Mueang, Chiang Mai and Phuket, which are major hubs, as well as other airports nationwide. An increase in flight slots will have positive effects as it will boost the number of passengers. There has been an increasing demand by airlines worldwide for new planes to upgrade and expand their fleets as they emerge from the pandemic's doldrums, though aircraft manufacturers cannot meet the demand at the moment. However, there will be more planes available for service within the next few years, and the aviation industry will expand as a result, Mr. Surya said. He added that Chiang Mai International Airport now operates around the clock as a response to the government's economic stimulus plan. So that is, I suppose, good news for people possibly who are flying into Thailand, and hopefully more flights would mean, well, the price of flights would come down. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but having more slots certainly would invite, I guess, more airlines to the country. At the moment, I still think airlines are keeping the prices up by limiting the amount of flights they have, and I don't think it's incentivizing them at all to reduce the price at all. Now, I read also that flights from Oslo to Bangkok are going to increase this year as well. So at least 3 airlines, Norse Atlantic Airways, Thai Airways and Scandinavian Airlines, have increased direct flights from Scandinavian countries to Thailand for 2024. So people from the Nordic area will have certainly more choice and hopefully reduce the cost of their flights. Now, they talk about Chiang Mai being open around the clock. I'm not quite sure if that has actually been a super success. I was looking through the arrival and departure flights for Chiang Mai Airport, and the best I can see is there's one late night arrival at 3 a.m. from China, and then the corresponding flight that would take off in the same plane. So I'm not sure it's been a complete success. It seems to be a case that the government said, well, you can open 24 hours, and Chiang Mai Airport said, great, we actually don't have any flights coming or going. So we are open, but, because, things have not gotten back to where they need to be in terms of global travel to and from Thailand. Well, it hasn't quite worked out like I'm sure they had planned. Also, there would be another issue when you plan to open up more slots, and that's obviously the noise around airports and how it will disturb residents and people living and working in the area. These things also need to be looked at, and you need to discuss these things with residents before you do it. As we have seen with, for example, the late night opening hours, there has been that's taken place in tourist areas where you're allowed to serve alcohol and stay open until 4 a.m. now. It seems there was no public consultation done in relation to that, and now you have issues with a lot of complaints flowing in about noise and other things. So yeah, it seems to be the governments and agencies have great ideas, but they never seem to actually talk with people who will be affected by it. They think of the golden Thai baht and thinking about how much money they can bring in, but at the end of the day, you need to also consult with the people that, you're going to affect the most. But I'd love to know your opinion on this story, and whether you think it's a good idea to have more slots. Do you think it's going to reduce the price of flights, or do you think the airlines are going to continue to keep the flights pushed up pretty high? I'd love to know your opinion, as always, in the comment section. So moving along to our next story of the day, the government are planning a Muay Thai visa for foreigners. The government plans to introduce a special visa for foreign tourists who want to visit Thailand to practice Muay Thai. It will allow them to stay for up to 90 days to complete the course. Pimal Sirvakorn, an advisor to the Prime Minister and chairman of the government's subcommittee for sports-related activities, said members decided at a meeting on Friday to promote Muay Thai as one of the country's so-called soft powers. With a tourist visa, a foreigner can stay in Thailand for up to 60 days, but with a special visa for learning Muay Thai, they could stay for 90 days, he said. The government will set a standard level to be attained at the classes and also certification for teachers so that the national fighting art can be spread around the world, he said. In addition, the government will promote Muay Thai through the Now Muay Thai, that's www.nowmuaythai.com website for foreigners interested in the sport to choose courses around Thailand. So, interesting idea. I understand where they're coming from. They want to promote their national sport, and that is honourable. I'm not sure the visa is going to be completely working. They talk about, we're going to offer a 90-day visa. Fantastic. Because the tourist visa only gives 60 days. But, you get a tourist visa 60 days. At the end of your 60 days, you can, waddle down to immigration, pay 1,900 and get another 30 days. So is it really going to be a huge incentive? I'm not quite sure. I think if you want to promote it, you're going to have to add benefits onto that visa. And those benefits certainly aren't, seen right now. I do think that possibly having a visa for maybe 6 months to learn Muay Thai here in Thailand might be something better, and certainly would be more attractive to people, because right now basically you're adding an extra month on, and they can get that extra month anyway when they come into Thailand. And of course the Muay Thai visa is not going to be for free. You're going to have to pay for it anyway before you come, because a visa always comes with a fee. So it seems to be thought out, reasonably thought out in the idea, but the implementation and how they're going to get there, not so much. But hopefully, there's an awful lot of people here who come to study Muay Thai, so I think it's a reasonable idea. I'd wish they'd stop talking about this soft power, because I'm really not quite sure they know what they are talking about. But I'd love to know, guys, if you think it's a good idea, a bad idea, and your comments, as always, down below in that comment section. So a story that seems to come about every year or so. Now, this story always comes up. I was looking through the internet and I was doing a bit of research before I spoke about this story, and every year there seems to be the same thing, and every year nothing seems to happen. So, end the 2 to 5 p.m. booze ban, say restaurateurs. Restaurateurs have asked Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin to end the ban on alcohol sales in the afternoon because visitors are complaining. The head of the Restaurant Business Club sent an open letter to the Prime Minister to ask the government to end the ban on the sale of alcohol every day between 2 and 5 p.m. According to the letter, the 3-hour law has been in place since 1972 and is problematic for restaurant staff because foreign customers frequently ask them to explain why they can't order a drink during the afternoon. The restriction is outdated, Mrs. Sartep wrote, and revoking it would support the restaurant sector's economic growth and the government's campaign to increase tourism-related revenue. Now, the alcohol sales restriction was introduced more than 5 decades ago, reportedly to stop some government officials from partying and drinking in the afternoon. It was more strictly enforced from 2008 onwards. So again, a bit of research about this ban. It's not exactly clear why it's ever been brought into Thailand and why they continue to do it. Now, 1972 is a long time ago, as it's 5 decades ago, brought in by a former junta military government, probably thought more control over the people. The government officials are all out drinking in the afternoon, so if we say they can't drink between 2 to 5, it'll be more productive. I actually could see that as being the reason why, though on the internet looking, there's various people with ideas such as, during school hours so that, children aren't drinking. But actually, the idea that government officials aren't drinking and partying, it's interesting enough. It is outdated and it needs to be scrapped. But as I said, every year it is talked about. Every year the same people come out and ask about it to be scrapped. I guess this time they're thinking maybe, the Prime Minister seems to be pushing tourism, promoting tourism, and that's probably why they think, now's a good time to ask him again, as he's, reduced the excise duty on wine and other spirits and things like that. It looks like he's on the side maybe of the hospitality industry. So I guess it's a time to kind of ask. But nevertheless, hopefully, guys, can I ask you out there, do you agree with the ban? Why do you think they have it? I'd love to know what you think about this, as always, in the comment section down below. Now, moving along to another story, and this story is about PM 2.5, and it's the spike in Bangkok. No real surprise here. So Bangkok residents have been told to expect rising levels of PM 2.5, which forecasters at the Pollution Control Department have said will continue to worsen until Wednesday. The department is urging Bangkok residents to work from home until Wednesday to avoid the worst of the air pollution. The PCD said the rising concentration of PM 2.5 pollutants is caused by air circulation and wind, poor air circulation and wind. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration is stepping up its inspections of all pollution sources in the capital. City Hall has also ordered schools to arrange dust-free rooms at all kindergartens and schools under the BMA supervision. Now, satellite images found 1,566 hotspots on January 9th, 1,139 on January 10th, and 1,023 on January 11th. Now, Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin plans to raise the issue when he meets the Cambodian PM in Thailand on February 7th. Oh, great. 4 weeks away. Ms. Srettha had previously said Thailand and Cambodia will together fight transboundary haze pollution. The Natural Resources and Environmental Ministry has also asked ASEAN's Secretary General to urge all countries in the Greater Mekong sub-region to prevent forest fires by cracking down on activities such as slash and burn farming. In Chiang Mai, farmers have been encouraged to stick with just ploughing the soil to clear their rice fields instead of burning rice straw, which adds to haze pollution. So, yes, again, we're back to the usual PM 2.5 and the start of it. Seems to be no solution for this, other than just talking, which is not going to happen. We have the Clean Air Bill, which is on its way through Parliament, but that's going to take time to ever become law. So it does look like, again, here in Thailand this year, we're going to have PM 2.5 issues all throughout the country, and it's a great shame. I note that the Bangkok governor have said if there's 3 days in a row of high levels of PM 2.5, he will be urging all businesses who can have staff work from home to work from home and not go outside. It is not good for you and it's not healthy. And if you're in Bangkok at the moment, do stay indoors. Try to have an air filter and if you go out, wear an N95 mask, because that will definitely help with the pollution at the moment. And finally, an interesting story. Imagine traveling all the way from Colombia to snatch a person bag, but that's exactly what's happened. Colombian arrested for Patong bag snatch. Russian tourist Caroline Rusaleva, 35, reported to Patong police at 11:45 p.m. last Friday that she had been a victim of a bag snatch at the entrance of Soi Suk Charon off Pa Meta Road. Miss Rusaleva was walking from a nearby 7-Eleven store back to her hotel room when a man rode past her on a motorbike and snatched her shoulder bag. Police tracked down the culprit, unnamed in the police report, and arrested him at the Sweet Leaf marijuana shop in Patong on Saturday. Officers recovered these stolen items during a subsequent search of his rented room at a small hotel in Karan. Among the items recovered was the shoulder bag, AirPod headphones, Miss Relieva Russian's driver's license, 3,000 baht in cash, a silver necklace and a silver ring. Officers also seized as evidence the shirt, shorts, shoes and red half-face helmet worn by the Colombian while committing the bag snatch. Police also seized the black Phuket-registered Honda Click motorbike used to commit the theft. Patong police confirmed that the Colombian man will be charged with snatching property by using a vehicle to facilitate the commission of an offence or taking that property or to escape arrest. Now, we always complain about the police not doing their job. In fairness, in this case, well done to the police for catching the guy. Another quality tourist here in Thailand. I wonder what his visa status is here, and I wonder why a clear open thief is roaming the streets of Thailand and how he's been able to get into the country so easily. Again, a little more scrutiny on the border, I think, of people coming here. Do you have enough money to be coming here? What kind of visa? How did you get your visa? What was your reason behind the visa? And then a few more questions, I think, by immigration would start to sniff out some of these guys that are coming here. But folks, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the show as always. Hopefully we'll have another show tomorrow or the next day. And hopefully you will have a great day and stay safe out there. Thanks as always. It's been great. Appreciate your support. Take care. Have a great morning. Goodbye. But ultimately, with this story or anything else that stood out to you today, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Because yes, this is a news show, but it's also a conversation. Now keep that conversation going. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and do all the good stuff that does help that YouTube algorithm. But ultimately, my name is Kieran Mack. You've been listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show, and we will see you next time.